All right, it's been a while, but we are back with another episode of the Who You Got podcast. And boys, I think I can sum up Super Bowl Sunday with a line from Charles Dickens in one of his famous books. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. And I think that's how we can Super Bowl Sunday in general can be summed up that way. And here's what I mean. It was the best of times. Breezy Johnson goes down that hill and wins gold. It was the worst of times. Lindsey Vonn lasted 10 seconds. It was the best of times. Chris got her up and down, comes from way back and wins Waste Management. It was the worst of time. Hideki hit 2 fairways and couldn't get home, and bogeys the last hole, loses in a playoff. It was the best of times. Sam Darnold, who probably in 2021 was 10,000 to 1 to be the first quarterback from that class to win a Super Bowl, gets the job done and wins a Super Bowl. Worst of times. Drake May might have had one of his worst. Actually, you know what? Let me say this, and Ryan, you can go right after. The offensive line probably had one of its worst games of the year at the worst time, and the Patriots don't look very good on offense, and the Seahawks win the Super Bowl.
Listen, I'll say this about the O-line, and we can talk about the rest. I had to rewatch the game because I was exceptionally heated on Sunday, as you all can imagine. It wasn't what I'm used to. It was a beating like the Browns take. However, it's the first team ever to start 2 people on the left side that are rooks, and it turned out to be an enormous mistake. Now, I will give one little gift to Will Campbell. He allowed 14 pressures, which is horrific. But he was coming back from injury, and it seemed to be that everybody else thinks he has a good future, and they were happy that he got out there. I think it was a knee that he had. But regardless, I forget who I was talking about this with, but I mean, halftime, you got to pull him. You got to get him out of there. And you got to get the other guy out of there, too. That guard was no good. I don't remember his name. They were just getting stomped. And you could see May, for once, instead of Darnold, seeing ghosts. He had no idea what to do. I think he had, 65 yards through 3 quarters?
Yeah, the crazy part is he finished with 295.
Yeah, but he had 225 in the fourth quarter, which is record. But what good does that do anybody?
It does.
I mean, it made my bet with both of them going over 200 because Darnold had 202.
202.
Regardless,
snuck over for you.
Yeah, it didn't make me feel any better. I will say that, to your point, Darnold has more Super Bowls than the last 4 teams that have let him go in the last 32 years. That's pretty interesting.
That's
32 years. He has more than all 4 teams. I don't know.
You're right. It's a great stat because Peyton beat Cam Newton, so Carolina don't have one.
Yep. And following up on our bets, I had said no, Russell Wilson doesn't care, but he tweeted out, "Let's go Seahawks, baby." And you did get a streaker as well.
You got a streaker.
Hopefully people put some of those wacky bets in there.
Well, if anyone listens in Louisiana, they had a chance. Yeah. But regular bets, if we just take out the center square here, we crushed it. I gave you the Seahawks. I gave you the Seahawks alternative totals. I told you I laid 13.5. I gave you the under. That came in still. We had a great day. I gave you the Kenneth Walker props. Those were good. We gave you the field goal props. Those all were good. We told you Stephon Diggs was not going to have a good game. He barely showed up. We told you
he broke up. He lost a girl.
Yeah, there you go. We told you Cooper Kupp would be the receiver to go off. We thought for the Seahawks. He went off. Jimmy told you a tight end was going to score. Barner got in the end zone. So a lot of good ones here. I mean, I made a lot of props. So I came out ahead.
Nope.
I made my money on the game, but I made a lot of fun bets. But I will say to Vegas Darnell, who was trolling me, saying once that coin flipped over heads that he was 1-0 on the Greg fade train, you must have had a real bad night if you tried to fade me on all the rest. You can feel free to reply anytime, Vegas.
Do we say zing?
Yeah, well, he knows better.
Look, at the end of the day, Seattle was a monster team. They lost 3 games by a total of 9 points. They avenged 2 of those in the playoffs. They were brutal. Kenneth Walker was, I keep using the word dynamic. I'm trying to find something different, but he was gut-breaking. He just messed them up. He was so patient behind there.
So patient.
His little acceleration, I mean, the lineman would be standing there kind of like, okay, he's going left. And he would somehow figure out how to go right and then accelerate, and everyone else would miss him. Because, as I said, the Patriots were coming from everywhere. They just did a good job replying.
Kenneth Walker looked like a combination of Barry Sanders and Le'Veon Bell behind the line, the way he just stopped, didn't rush it, and waited for the hole to open up and then pounded through.
Yep.
He went with speed of Barry and power of Bell. It was impressive to watch.
Yep. Power to him, man. Over the last 6 games, he had 561 rushing yards, 210. Oh, I can't even see what that says. No, 561 rushing yards. I can't even read what that says. I wrote it too fast. And 5 rushing TDs. Oh, and 10 receiving yards as well.
And
so, I mean, that's a monster 6 games.
Make no mistake about it. 27 for 135 against that Patriots defense is extremely impressive.
Sure is.
And that's why he's the MVP. I know he didn't get in the end zone, and I'm sure he's not real pleased that he didn't get the TD, but very impressive game. He deserved to be the MVP.
I will say the other guy out there.
You can't give it to the whole defense, right? Because if you could give it to the 4 linemen, maybe they deserve to be the MVP with 6 sacks. Was it 6 sacks or 6, right?
I think it was, maybe it was 6. I thought it was 5, but that's all right. But I will say the one bright side on the Pats, and we're going to pay through the nose for, and it's going to tie up a bunch of cap space. Gonzalez is projected to sign a 4-year, $160 million deal. And he had 21 targets in the playoffs, 6 receptions allowed, and 6 forced incompletions in the 4 games in the playoffs. So people were averaging 5 targets on him. They're like, nope, we're not going that way.
Yeah, that's good.
That speaks a lot to him. It's of course going to cost us a lot of money, but he's fantastic so far.
All right, Jimmy, go ahead. You haven't really chimed in here. What was your?
Well, I'll start from a betting standpoint. I had a ton of fun prop bets out there, and I basically broke even on the game because my 2 big plays were the Seahawks, 4.5, and then I made an in-game overplay when it dropped down to 25.5, pretty decisively.
Nice play.
And so, and that hit in the 3rd quarter. So those 2 saved me. I had Austin Hooper's receiving yards, and I actually ended up going with heads because my 7-year-old kid said pick heads, so I did. So, kicked the game off with a win. Basically broke even on the Super Bowl because of the 2 big plays. I had all kinds of stupid shit out there, but small plays. And then I felt good about those big ones. So it was a fun night overall. I think the game played out theoretically on paper how you would have expected it to if you really analyzed it. Now there is the mystique of the Patriots, the Pats. Does Vrabel have it? Is it back? No. Like, the Patriots are a good team. Can't take anything away from them. They had the easiest schedule during the year. They just unbelievably lucky with C.J. Stroud putting the ball on the ground 100 times and then playing against a backup quarterback in Denver. And then they ran into just a truck of a defense, and and that's what happens. I'll give the Patriots credit. The best thing for them was their defense also was great. The difference is Sam Darnold. The most impressive part about him was he didn't lose the game. He didn't turn the ball over. There was a couple passes over the middle that were close. To your point, Gonzalez is a badass corner. I mean, he deserves all the money he gets, and you're not paying your quarterback yet. But in theory, just sometimes it happens like that. Like, on paper, this is exactly how this game should have gone. And, you thought maybe the Pats would Sam Darnold would start become a turnover machine, or something would break their way because it had just been maybe it was the team of destiny. But in reality, if they play 10 times, this happens 9 of them, right? Yeah. And that's so they were just the superior team.
I don't think they're a one-trick pony. I think Seattle could win another championship in the next 2 or 3 years. If Sam Darnold can just manage the game and this defensive unit stays together and Walker and Charbonnet stay healthy, they're going to have a running game. They have the best receiver right now by stats. Maybe you know how I feel about JJ and oh my God, Jamar Chase. So, I mean, do I think he's better than them? I don't. I think he's 3rd, but on paper right now, based on stats, he's number 1. So
look, they traded out Geno Smith, right? Geno Smith literally got traded, left a Super Bowl team the next season, went to the worst team in the NFL, got the number 1 draft pick, and got his coach fired. And the Seahawks ended up winning with DeMarcus Lawrence, who also just played 11 seasons with the Cowboys. And he came one time, he said, I'm not going to win with them, so I want to go somewhere else and take a shot before I retire, basically. And he won a Super Bowl. Like, it's just interesting how it works out,
Yeah, I mean, but this is another thing. Sam Darnold might as well be on a rookie contract. Like, they can keep these pieces around him because they paid him $100 million over 3 years, but a lot of that was signing bonus. So he's not a huge cap hit. And to your point, Greg, even if, let's just live in a world where JSN is the 5th best receiver, and he's not. He's better than that. But let's just live in a world where that, like, the difference between 5 and 1 in this scenario isn't that great because you can make an argument for anyone. So you've got him. Cooper Kupp. We'll see if he's got another year or two left in him, but you can find ancillary pieces. You've got multiple running backs that are solid. Kenneth Walker, because we watched Big Ten football, was awesome at Michigan State, and he doesn't have a lot of miles. He's got injuries, but he was very good in college, and he's still very good. Charbonnet is going to come back healthy. The defense is stout. If Sam Darnold can continue to play, like give him, solid play in the quarterback position, I don't see any reason they couldn't. But, the NFL is a tough place to repeat. That's why very few teams.
And Varner's only going to get better.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I agree with you, Jimmy. Chase, Jefferson, JSN, Puka, and Lamb are probably all interchangeable.
Yeah. Like, if you had any one of them, you'd be like, yes, I'm not going to pay the other one exorbitantly more than any of the others. If any one of those would make $1 million less than the other one, you'd be like, sign them immediately.
Yeah.
And Seattle does seem to have a pretty good culture.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they have
great home field advantage. Great home field advantage.
A great home field advantage. Players seem to really care about each other. They got each other's back. I think New England does too. And I think that's one thing that you can look forward to in the future. But here's my crazy prediction. And I don't mean this to be a hater. New England misses the playoffs next year.
We're going to get to that at the end. I'm going to end the show with that. So save your hot takes for 2026.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that in like, hey, the schedule's not going to be that easy next year. So things are going to get difficult.
I'm not getting to that yet. We'll discuss that later. But let's talk about that for 1 second, because people keep saying that the schedule was so easy. Well, to be fair, if the schedule was so easy, it should have been a bigger number than over 8.5 games, right? In theory, shouldn't have been 10, 10.5, 11, whatever.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody expected this turnaround. They were terrible last year.
The season not supposed to be great. So 8.5 was actually inflated.
Yeah.
You heard us. We actually liked the over because of the schedule, but a lot of people were still on the under because a true number for the Patriots this year was probably 7.5.
Yeah. And look, I think they could be really solid. I think Drake May's the real deal. You know what pisses me off the most about the Super Bowl? And we all agree that we can't stand Collinsworth, but he was dead on when he said they need to run Drake May. Like, why aren't they letting? 100%. He is a hell of an athlete, and he should have been running the ball.
By the way, Drake May under cover. Sorry,
it was unbelievable that it didn't happen. But anyway, and I think New England's got a really bright future, though, Ryan. I'm not knocking them. I just think that.
Oh no, I'm not being defensive. I'm thrilled we did anything this year. It was finally fun to watch again. Look, I don't need perfection. I don't need somebody going 19-0 or anything like that to enjoy it. I just want them to be competitive, and I think they have a lot of pieces and turn the corner in a lot of ways. And we'll see. We'll see what it brings.
You definitely have a quarterback, and that's the biggest piece of the puzzle, right? And you got another 3 years of him on a rookie deal. So they'll probably, I would think after the 4th year, they're not going to just exercise the option. They'll probably sign him to a pretty big extension. But you've got the quarterback. He's 23 years old. That's all you need to know.
We're going to go backwards here a little bit because we've been on a little bit of a hiatus. So I'll ask this question, and then I want to kind of get into the lead up of the Super Bowl and some of the stories that came out. But Ryan, I got to ask you as a Patriots fan, were you as confused as the rest of the world when they finally scored and he said, hey, let's kick the extra point and go down by 12 because I don't know how to do math? Why wouldn't you go for 2 and go down 11?
I don't know, man. I don't get that.
You think he was just so stunned that they were getting crushed that he just forgot how to do math?
I don't know. You got to shake things up at that point, right? They were down 12-0. They couldn't do anything.
But it was 19-0. They finally scored. It's 19-6.
Oh, 19. Sorry.
You make it 19-8, then you need a touchdown, 2, and a field goal. If you go down 19-7, you got to score 2 touchdowns now.
I can't explain it. I don't want to speak for him, but I mean, it was clear. What did they punt 6 times in a row to lead off? Like, you just happy to get a point, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Ryan's probably right. Like, you're just take the points. Let's move on. Well,
they couldn't get anything else done, and that was one hell of a throw to the corner that he made. I mean, I don't know. Do you go for 2? What do you really, in that situation with
go for 2? It was a
what are your odds
move to not go for 2.
But what are your odds of making a 2.5?
What does it matter? If you're down 13 or 12, it's the same situation. You got to score twice.
I get it.
Even if you're down 13 and they kick a field goal, it's 2 touchdowns, 2 2-pointers.
Honestly, I don't know that anyone was thinking at that point. That's probably my answer.
That's a problem.
Well,
and Vrabel,
listen, he's new too, to the org at least.
All right, Jimmy.
Yo.
Throw it to you because I feel like you were, well, like maybe you weren't paying attention. I don't know. I don't know what your drink count was at that point. But any commercials that stood out to you that you were like, oh, that's a good one? I wrote down 3.
No, I mean, I love Danny McBride. The insurance commercials with him and Keegan-Michael Key. I genuinely enjoyed those. Those were kind of top of my list.
That was it. Anything from you, Ryan?
I like the Duncan ones. Thought that was funny.
All right. Duncan's on my list. I thought the Duncan one was great. Bringing out all the Boston people. I thought that was fantastic. I like the Miller Ultra commercial. Jimmy, you drink it. I don't know why you're not supporting it with Kurt Russell when they kind of threw it back to Miracle where he's like, again.
Yeah,
again.
that was good.
That was good. And I really like that Budweiser commercial with the horse and the baby eagle playing Freebird.
That was good. That was good. Yeah, that was a good commercial where the eagle's on his back, take off. Yeah,
I thought that was the best one of the Super Bowl. So I give Budweiser the win.
Yeah, it was very good.
All right, leading up to the Super Bowl, dumbest question asked of all time happened in look, and I didn't hear them all, but I'm just going to call this the dumbest question of all time. Happened for Super Bowl 60. Somebody asked Vrabel, "Is this a must-win game, Coach?"
No,
seems pretty stupid.
Now, I give him all the credit in the world for not being like, what media outlet are you with? He answered him with a straight face and was just like, well, we take every game as a must-win game. But, I mean, whoever asked that question, I hope whoever you work for was like, hey, you're never covering sports again. Ever. I know you were probably there for the halftime show and you're some pop culture person. Never go to a Super Bowl again. Was it a must-win game? I mean, you have got to be.
The question is, if it was a half reputable company, right, that he represented, he's the cream of the crop or she's the cream of the crop. And if it's not, why are you taking your one shot? You know, the last 10 years, you're attending one game and picking this person who's not a rocket scientist.
Wow.
You know, like
the only way that works is if it was a comedian that was like in the like a crowd.
That's funny.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Yeah.
I wrote this down. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm coming right for you.
Go ahead.
The Patriots fans, you're the dumbest fans in the fucking world.
Okay.
The fact that they were going at Brady because he wasn't like, go Pats, you're the best, go win this. He owns the Raiders, you dumbasses.
That's dumb, yeah.
Like
I will say he did defend a lot of people in this when people were asking questions about different failures, not just on the Patriots, but you know, throughout the playoffs. Like he's very much he doesn't play a homer. He has respect for the people he played with and played for, but he does have kind of an even take when it comes to anything. You never kind of catch him going one way or the other, I don't think.
Tom, look, normally I go at you about Peyton, but I'm going to, because you played for Michigan and you got me a Rose Bowl, I'm going to take this one for you. New England. He doesn't like you. He played there and won a lot of championships. He doesn't like you or the Patriots. Robert Kraft picked Belichick over him. That's why he became a Buck. If you can't read between the lines, he doesn't like you anymore. So don't expect him to root for you. He owns the Raiders because he doesn't like you. So throw your number 12s away. He doesn't like you.
That could be very true.
I don't know if it is. Greg could have a point, but I just think he's ultra competitive and now owns a different team. And on top of that, he is a commentator now that has to try to be biased while he owns a team. It's the weirdest dynamic of all time. He wasn't, but it's still a very odd dynamic, right? Like he walks this tightrope.
Yeah.
Right? Like constantly. But, you know.
He doesn't like him.
Probably not.
Robert Kraft could have kept Brady. He said, basically, I'm going to stick with Bill Belichick. And
he does love Robert Kraft, though.
He doesn't. He hates him.
Oh, he loves him. I fully believe he loves Kraft.
All right. What'd you think? Or did you agree with Stafford being the MVP, or did you think May should have got it?
On paper,
I agree with it, but I think it was the weakest MVP class we've had in a while. Like, I don't think there was anybody that you're like, this guy is the MVP for sure. I thought it was, I didn't think anybody was that much of a home run. I think Stafford for sure deserved it. He had a great year, but it didn't feel like anybody had the Peyton Manning year where when Drew Brees got one, or like it didn't feel like there was a runaway.
Someone remind me who won last year? I can't remember for the life of me.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen won when everybody
both their numbers, if I remember, both the numbers of May and Stafford this year blew away his numbers in significant categories, if I remember.
But last year, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson both had spectacular years, and it was
They
like
do.
it's one of these two guys for sure. And it felt like, yeah, I guess it's going to be Stafford or Drake May based on the numbers. Like, they did have good numbers. It felt underwhelming. It felt
But
like,
those
yes,
are bigger
And,
guys playing on
Yeah.
premier TV teams. They were
Yeah.
both good, solid teams last year. If
Yeah.
you look at the stats, and Greg looks like he's checking, May and Stafford's numbers both
Yeah,
beat
Jimmy.
those two last year.
I think you're out of your mind. I had to pull it up because I didn't want to misspeak. I mean, he went 46-8.
he had a great year. I'm not saying he did it.
I mean, that is a pretty staggering MVP number.
He had
Almost
a monster year.
5,000 yards.
No, he deserved it. Maybe it's because they're a West Coast team, or we don't pay. I don't know. It just didn't feel like didn't feel like. But I'm happy that he got one. I'm happy because he deserved one. He's a great quarterback. If not now, when? And I think it probably keeps him coming back. Like, who retires after an MVP season, right?
Yeah,
so
look,
it probably brings him back.
And I'm not trying to pile on the Patriots at all. I thought it should have been a bigger margin than it was in the voting. Because I thought Stafford, when you evaluated the schedule, played against some really tough teams. He played in obviously the best conference, and the guy went 46 touchdowns and 8 interceptions.
Yeah, it's a hell of a year.
It's an unbelievable year in that conference. And his out of conference schedule was no cupcake either.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
As we saw in the beginning of the year.
No, you're right. And look, numbers matter.
I was going to say, like we saw in the beginning of the year, first game again was the Eagles, and we took that bad beat on the blocked field goal when he had them beat again.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. It's kind of like West Coast sports. Just, I don't know, something about them always feel like even the NBA, like outside of, and the West is way better, but it just, I don't know. I would pay way more attention to the East.
I was glad JSN got Offensive Player of the Year. I thought that was a good call. I thought he deserved it. Vrabel definitely deserved Coach of the Year, so I thought that was another good call. Jimmy, here's my last NFL take for now, and it's for you. How do you feel that the Browns almost won as many awards as games?
I mean, look. Means we got a couple of good players. Did you see Miles? By the way, I didn't realize this. Did you see him at the Winter Olympics?
The Olympics.
Yeah, I saw he was at the Olympics. Yeah,
he's dating Chloe Kim apparently.
He what?
He dates Chloe Kim.
Yeah.
That part I didn't know. I saw them show him at the Olympics.
Yeah, there's a picture of her there. Yeah,
there's a picture of her off a jump upside down, and you see him with the camera taking a picture as she's going by.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Wild.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll tie a bow up on the 25 season and 26 look-aheads at the end.
Can I add one fun fact?
Yep, go ahead.
I got one fun fact. So the last 5 Super Bowls, do we know how many people watched? Take a ballpark guess.
If I add them up in my head, 130 times 5. So I'm going to go 7.5. 750 million.
Jimmy, what do you got? 5 Super Bowls. Last 5, how many watched?
All together? Total?
Yep.
I think it's probably a pretty accurate number.
So it's actually 580, so you guys are a little high. The last 10 are 1.18 billion. Just to give you an idea, the 2022 FIFA World Cup final had just the final had 1.5 billion people watching. So more people watched that one game than the last 10 Super Bowls by a significant amount, like 350K. Crazy. Or 350 million, excuse me. Crazy. Sorry, I just thought that was interesting.
No, I've heard this argument and stat before, but what I would say back to anyone is, yes, but you're taking a sport that is based in one country versus the world.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, if I'm the NFL, I'm going, well, yeah, no fucking shit.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a quick 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Yeah, and part of it, we've talked about it before. Soccer's always going to be king, and this is why basketball is growing worldwide as well.
Yeah, and it's a good strategy by the NFL now, Jimmy, to start branching out. Now they're going to play a game in Australia.
No, it is, but this is it's the reason hockey was tough when you were a kid, and why the NFL is tough to spun. But soccer and now basketball is going to. I think basketball is going to be the number 2 worldwide sport, is because you need a garbage can and a ball, and that's it. And soccer, you don't even need a net. You just need like a thing. And so every country where they can't afford pads and refs, like, you can play these games. And that's why soccer is one of the reasons soccer is so big, because you literally need a ball in the field. You can say between those 2 trees is the goal, right? Like that's it. And basketball is just slightly above that. You need a ball and like a garbage can or a pail of some sort. So it's
Right.
just easy for everybody to access. And
Correct.
that's why it's so easy to just,
Yeah, Rory was hysterical. I don't know if you saw any of his press conferences leading up to Pebble Beach, but they asked him, and he basically didn't want to say, "Yeah, it's not for me." But he's like, basically, he finally sighed. He's like, "Look, I've given it a shot."
with
The
that
NFL.
football.
Yeah, the NFL. He's like, it's good. Like he doesn't know what to say. He
Yeah.
obviously doesn't like football because he basically said, "Look, I didn't grow up with it. You know, I grew up with soccer, like our football." But you could tell Rory McIlroy, not a football fan.
Well, here's the thing about so one of my son's friends, his father is Australian, and I had him over a few weeks ago. We were having some beers, and he's like, "Yeah, I mean, I watch basketball and I watch some soccer, but like, I really should try to get into football. I've been here for a long time." And so he's asked me questions while we're watching the game, and I'm explaining to him. And as I'm doing this, I realize how complicated football is to somebody that has never watched football.
Oh my
right?
god! Can you imagine?
Yeah,
It's just like, wait, huh? What's
yeah.
this? Well, he shifted the wrong way. What?
Yeah, yeah. It's
What's
a
this
whole
mean?
thing.
Well, he didn't turn
When
around
you
and
think-
look at the ball. So
When
we
you think
passed.
about popular world sports, rugby has a couple extra rules, but it's way simpler than football.
Yeah.
Soccer, way simpler.
Yeah,
Hockey,
cricket. I don't
way
understand
simpler.
cricket in full. Like, I don't know.
I'm sure
That's
you
pretty easy
guys.
too.
I'm sure you guys are in the same boat, but like I'll watch it with some like casual fans, and certainly like my wife or
Yeah,
some females in my family, and like a flag will go on. I'm like, fuck, holding.
yeah,
And like 10 seconds later, they'll be like, and they're like,
Yeah.
how do you know that? And I was like, because I know where the flag's thrown and when it was
yeah.
thrown. It's
Yeah,
holding
we
for
just
the
know. We
offense.
know.
I
And
know.
we know because we watch it constantly.
Right. And I'll see the shift and I'll see the flag. I'll be like, it's an illegal shift. And people
Yeah.
will be like, all right, what? I'll be like, I saw it. The guy, you can't do that.
Yeah, yeah,
And other people
But-
will be like, what the hell are you talking about? And
Yeah.
that's, I'll be honest, that's how I used to be with soccer until I really started watching a lot of these world tournaments. Now I understand soccer real well, and I can immediately tell when someone's offside. You see that flag go up.
Yeah.
All right. I wrote down a couple things for golf, and then I'll let Jimmy put me to sleep for 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
yeah. It'll be quick today.
Pebble Beach, I don't know if you looked at anything this week. Unfortunately, we're recording Thursday, so no one's going to be able to jump on. But you can jump on in live time. I got a sizable play on Russell Henley, top 20. The only thing I don't like is he fired 6 under today, and he's tied 11th. There's some people just went off. Little update for you boys since you're zero.
Goddard?
Goddard up is right near the top. I think he's tied third. I think
Crazy because he was plus 700, man. That win he came back from must have
Our
really
local boy,
boosted him.
gentlemen. Our local boy. Keep him going.
Yeah, plus 700. That's pretty low for a guy that's not, a top 2
Well,
guy.
I'll tell you, in our tournament, which you guys have been zero help in, the Mayo Cup, I keep
You're welcome.
I keep unfortunately dropping landmines where I pick great players, but so does the rest of the world. So we had Hideki last week, so we moved up into the top 400. We're actually sitting at 368 right now. We have Henley, but 15% of the field has Henley. And in our other entry, we have Justin Rose, and 18% went with Rosie this week. So
Oh,
it's okay. The other entry's not doing so well, but we got one right now. If Henley holds, we're in the top 350. So we're doing pretty well. Again, you guys have been no help. So now,
You've referred
question.
to that a couple times. I can't say I know exactly what you're referring to.
Read an article. Now, I'm saying you can make a pick. It's fine. You and Jimmy can come through. Jimmy came through a week early on his boy Holigard. He had a good week last week, but the week he picked him, not so great. All right, so this debate now is starting to get some steam, and now I can tell you right now, everyone who's listening, if you don't like golf, well, whatever, because we're going to talk about this quite a bit. The Scotty Tiger comparisons are starting, and I'm wondering how you feel about it, Jimmy.
I mean, look, I think it's way too early in his career to tell, but his trajectory certainly says that he's, he could be there. We talked about the odds pre-tournament being ridiculous, and then we're like, well, maybe they're not, right? Like, he's just that good. He's so consistent. He doesn't have the personality Tiger had. He doesn't have the flair, but like, that's okay. He's his own guy, and I think I've come around to become a big Scotty fan, and the guy's just absolutely a dynamic golfer. Like, what you can't take anything away with. So it's way too early in his career, but if he keeps this up for another couple of years, you're gonna start to be like, well, this is we're getting there.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you look at all the Tiger stats where people are like, Tiger crushes him, and here's why. Well, that's because you're looking at Tiger's whole career versus Scotty's beginning of his career. But if you just look at some certain ones, Scotty's scoring average is better than Tiger's in Tiger's peak by a little bit. His bogey avoidance rate is better than Tiger at his peak. His birdie rate is better than Tiger. In 2006, his best year, Tiger was 27.14, Scheffler 31.11. I mean, think of that. 3 out of 10 holes, this guy's birdieing.
Yeah. So just adding to that, like I think it's different. It's kind of like comparing basketball eras, right? You know, Tiger came out and literally broke courses. And I'm not suggesting that made it necessarily easier. I'm just saying it's really hard to compare. What are their I'm trying to look it up quickly. It didn't come up. What are their total wins at this age? Like, do we know?
In their in their first 25 majors, because let's go there, right?
Sure.
Scotty has 4 wins, 9 top 5s, and 16 top 10s.
Uh-huh.
Tiger had 6 wins, 9 top 5s, and 12 top 10s. So they're tied in top 5s. Scotty has more top 10s, and Tiger has won 2 more. Now, the way Scotty's playing right now, I mean, it's almost you'd be shocked if he didn't win a major this year, right?
Yeah, but I think it's tough too because Tiger won his first one. This article says at 25, and Scheffler didn't win his first one to 29. So, in theory, Scheffler's going to be older in the same window with the same.
Yeah,
Tiger was under 20.
Yeah,
in
so part of the problem with majors too is so like everybody just assumed Tiger was going to catch Jack, and then life happens, right? Like all.
Look that up, Ryan. 97 Masters.
The divorce happens.
21, yeah.
Yeah. And so Tiger falls short. But there's nobody that didn't think Tiger was going to catch Jack at some point when he was hot. Tiger's got 15 majors. Scotty's got 4. You know, he's on a. It looks like like I said, trajectory that he could be, but like it's just too early.
He's
but
minus
that's not knocking him. Scotty's unbelievable. He's
minus 150. Minus 150 to win a major.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Wild.
That's a terrible bet.
Yeah.
Like I get it. I get why they're doing it.
This is the argument that I listen to on like VSiN all the time. Is it a stupid bet, Ryan? Because I sat here like a dope.
We thought it was a stupid bet.
And said, if you're an idiot, if you take Scotty 3-1, and the guy ran away with the tournament.
I understand, but you're not. It's just not smart betting. Like find somebody else that has a bigger upside.
I hear you, but it's almost to the point where if he's going to be plus 300 every major, might as well lay minus 150 and take 4 shots at it. Put 1,500 to win 1,000. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was with you. And now I'm sitting here going, Jesus Christ, this guy shot 2 over in his first round and was 1 shot out of a playoff last week.
Right.
So what do you do?
I don't. That's a tough way to come back.
I'm with Jimmy. If he just had a little bit more, I don't know, of a personality, and he probably has a great personality off the course. He's just
he does.
He's just so focused, and he doesn't really have much on the course, and he doesn't give you that much in a press conference.
Yeah. Which
Tiger really didn't either, but Tiger had all the other marketable stuff and commercials and all. I don't know.
Yeah, but Tiger had the emotion on the course. And look, that stuff about Scotty doesn't bother me specifically, but from an excitement perspective, like Tiger was must see TV, and and Scotty kind of does too. Like Scotty makes some crazy shots, but Tiger was like the guy that he wasn't like a perfect golfer. He just made the big shot all the time. Like it was unbelievable.
We all have a shot in our head. That one on 16 and the Masters where it rolled all the way around. And that was ridiculous. But the one I remember, I don't remember what tournament it was, and I don't remember what year. It was sometime in the 2000s. I know that's a broad range. But he's like 225 under a pine tree, and he flips a 2-iron over and hits it from the wrong side, hits this little skimmer that kind of rises up, and turns right, and lands 15 feet, and he knocks in the eagle. It's like stuff like that when you remember. Right. You remember where you were at certain sports times. I remember sitting on a couch, don't know the tournament, but I remember going, oh my God, I was just a witness of history. Like,
I'll never forget that chip out of the bunker in your life. I mean, it was unbelievable when that ball fell in. My favorite one that I'll never forget with Tiger, and I want to say it was Nance on the call, was the U.S. Open against Rocco Mediate, where Rocco was like, oh, finally, I got this guy beat. And he sank that 20-footer to put it in the Monday playoff. And Jim Nance was just like, you expect anything different? I when he
He's got
sunk
some-
that putt, I was just like, all right. I mean, this is silly at this point.
If anybody out there wants some good entertainment for a few minutes, if you want to dive down a rabbit hole, go look at some of Jim Nance's calls on Sundays in tournaments. There are some legendary calls. You guys talked about them before.
We did.
You invited me to be on. There are some crazy calls where you're just like, how did he come up with that? Was that scripted? He couldn't have known that moment was going to happen. Holy cow! What a comment that made me feel. You know.
So he's given interviews where he will jot some things down based on the leaderboard. Like, I think, is it his time with Phil? He had that one queued up, ready to go. I think he had a win for the family queued up to go for Phil when he won his other one when his wife was going through the cancer treatments. So I know he does do some of that. But yeah, he's at Final Fours in championship games too. Ryan, you're up in Connecticut. I don't know if you remember the call, but some say you can't, but you can, and UConn is a national championship. That was a good one. It pains me to say because I hate UConn, but I had to hear that for years from my friends. That was some say you can't, but you can, and UConn is
that was probably their first one, right? And then they kind of became what they are now, on both sides, men and women.
1999, they somehow beat Duke. I still sit here going, how did that happen?
That was the greatest.
The Alaskan assassin on Duke just couldn't get it done.
My dad sat on that couch and told me 100 different ways that they were going to lose. And I said, Dad, essentially said, shut the hell up. Like, I'm tired of hearing your mouth.
What year was Emeka Okafor?
Okafor was the early 2000s. He beat, I think it was Georgia Tech they beat in the finals.
Wasn't that Hamilton in 99?
Hamilton was there, yep.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. I think it was either the round of 32 or the Sweet 16 where he got like the 4 straight rebounds against Washington, and it was Hamilton, and he put it in finally.
They had that huge white center. I can't remember his name.
Jake Voskuhl
on the Washington team.
Washington. Voskuhl was your center at UConn.
Yeah. Mr. LA. He went to the snow for some reason. I don't know.
And Jimmy's left the show. It's fine. He's back. That's good. Good timing. Jimmy.
Yeah.
What do we have coming up in the UFC?
Yeah, we'll break this down. It's funny because I was thinking about this. I'm like, hey, it's a great free card. But then I remembered they're all the same price now if you have Paramount Plus. So it's not a free card. It's just a fight night. So now it's not that great because you get them all if you have it. But yeah, we'll break it down next week. There's only a handful of fights I want to talk about. Louis Garoulet.
Can I stop you there for a sec as a UFC guy? And if Ryan comes back in while I'm saying this, I'll ask him the same question. Okay, so Ryan's back. So I'm going to ask you both this. Jimmy, that's a great point. But does that make it like less that you want to watch this now where you were excited to watch them on ESPN because they were free?
I mean, I think the idea, like for me, for a fight night for the casual fan, when I would talk about them with you, is like, watch this one. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Flip over if the game you're watching is a blowout, like flip it over and watch. They're giving you 2 fights for free because it could hook the general public.
Right.
But yeah, now I feel like it's like, well, it's all on anyway. So there's a thing every week and there's still numbered events. So the numbered events, so it's like almost now signify just the major matches, and fight nights are like, I don't know, but it's all the same thing. You get it all with Paramount Plus. I still can't believe Paramount Plus isn't charging like $19.99 for numbered events. Like, who wouldn't pay $20? Like, even the average fan would pay $20.
I'm a fan, and I wouldn't
pay. Not the average fan, right? What's that?
I'm a pretty big UFC fan, like back in the day, that knows quite a bit about it.
You wouldn't pay $20 to watch a night of the major fights?
Absolutely not. The last fight I paid for, this is not a joke, is Frank Bruno, Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
So I think most people, if they were leading up to the prelims and then it was $19.99, would pay it. But yeah, I don't know what the hook is on the fight nights now, and it would almost seem like it would behoove them to put it on, because what they had on ESPN was they could, like, some of them were like ABC, but you know what I mean? Like they like put them on someone that doesn't have Paramount Plus, because that might hook you to get Paramount Plus, or maybe CBS. I don't know, and maybe they do this, and I don't know it. Maybe CBS shows the fights, the fight nights, like on CBS.
Jimmy, do we know the numbers? Like, do we know the behind the scene numbers that Paramount is paying, or whoever owns Paramount? I don't even know.
So it was like a $9 billion deal.
$9 billion. I mean, that's plenty of money. Like, that's got to be well over the pay-per-view numbers. And if they're just trying to gain market share, why not?
Of course, but I'm saying if you want to continue to grow the sport, that was the benefit. Some of those ESPN matches were on ABC. They were on, like, it would bring you in. they would show the prelims on regular television to hook people to buy the pay per
I remember,
view.
yeah.
Like that's the only thing I think about. But
I literally
anyway,
recorded all the pay-per-views. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, all of the prelims, and watched majority of them, and never bought one event. So if I'm a customer, what does that say? I don't know. I'm a pretty big fan, but I mean, Greg is like giving you the finger basically, which I understand. But I'm a pretty
because it's not his thing. But again, I think like if you had the hook and you paid, or you did like what I said, you still put the fight nights on regular television.
But it's not
and
his
then
thing.
the hook to get the numbered events was to pay the $14 a month for Paramount Plus. You know what I mean? Like it just seems like there should be some sort of hook to continue to grow the base
Talking about a
audience.
guy that if it was able to be gambled, we talked about it, would bet on darts, and if it was on TV, I'll bet he'd watch it.
I would.
You know,
I would.
No?
I would
No?
bet it and see if I won or not. And I do the same thing with the UFC.
okay.
And the reason being is because again, Saturday nights, when we get to the fall, I'm watching college football. When we get past that, I'm watching college basketball. Then I'm going to the NHL and NBA playoffs. Then when we get to the summer, unfortunately, I'm watching Del Mar until that card's over, and that's usually 9 or 10 o'clock our time. But Jimmy knows because we've done the show now for over a year. I will watch it and I'll follow it if we're betting it in the summer because summer Saturdays there's not much going on.
Yeah.
But until we get there, yeah, you're not going to get me away from these other sports, especially as you know, Jimmy, when the NHL playoffs start, I'll watch every playoff game in the NHL.
Yeah, and I'm the opposite. So like, I love the UFC. So if it's not a game that I'm emotionally invested in the other sports, I'll bet them and I'll watch the UFC instead. So it's just it's two sides of the same coin, right? We'll bet it all. We'll just watch the other way. But I digress. Look, this next card, there's a good card coming up in a few weeks we'll really get into. This next card will only break down a couple of fights. We're just all basically rooting for Anthony Hernandez to beat Sean Strickland in the main event because Sean Strickland, though he was a champion, he was a true champ, won some good fights. He's a weird fucking dude. Most people don't like him. There's even stories out there about the UFC like worrying about him and what he would do to their reputation because he's such a D-bag at times. Anthony Hernandez has a motor like no other. He doesn't stop. He's on the up, and they fight in a pretty tough division. So, I think the 170 division is the toughest. This is not that. This is 185, but this is a very tough division. So that should be an exciting fight. Luis Garule's fighting. We've talked about and bet him before. He's a little down the card, so we'll talk about that fight. Dan Ige is fighting Costa. Ige is a decent underdog. I think he could pull that out. We'll talk about that fight. But yeah, just an average card. Just a typical card. Ode Osborne's fighting. We bet him. Ode Osborne, when he's on, looks unbelievable. He's just not always on. He's a slight dog, so there's a decent chance we'll have a small play on Ode Osborne. We'll break it down on Monday. And in a few weeks, we've got a really good card coming up. So that one, again, it's a numbered card. What that means anymore, I'm not sure. It just means there's bigger fights. But that's coming up on UFC 326. That's Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira Part 2. There's multiple fights on that card that are solid. It's not the greatest card I've ever saw, but that's a very, 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 very good main event. Hopefully we see Max Holloway, blessed Max Holloway, get another victory and continue his legendary career. So we'll break that down in a couple of weeks. Next week, we'll talk about this fight night and give you a couple of plays.
All right. So
not to be like, thanks, Jimmy, like Greg does, but that's not my job. But I will add one fact. Did you guys see Andrei Arlovsky is now the BKFC heavyweight champ at whatever age he is? Like 40?
I did it.
No.
Arlovsky was the pit bull. Andrei Arlovsky, Russian, fighting out of Chicago, was a great fighter, super fun to watch. He was an old school UFC guy. He held on for a long, long time. He was always great.
He might even be in his 40s now. And I loved his fangs.
He might be 45 now. Yeah, 46.
Those fangs in his mouth guard. That was what drew me to him initially, and then he just kicked a bunch of people's asses.
He was really tough for a while. I think he beat Tim Sylvia back in the day.
Oh yeah, what was he, 6'9", that dude?
Yeah, he was 6'7".
Was he the one that broke his arm?
He was from Maine. That was the Maniac Tim Sylvia.
Yeah, that guy was crazy.
Yeah, there was Randy Couture beat Tim Sylvia, and it was unbelievable. Randy Couture was basically a light heavyweight, went up to heavyweight, fought at like 220, and took on this ogre and fucking whooped his ass, and it was awesome. But anyway, we digress. We won't bore everybody with the old stories, but the good call on
one more.
Yeah.
I got one more. Remember when he fought? I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a huge white dude, and it was 6'9" Tim Sylvia versus 6'10" whatever it was, and both of them had to cut weight to make whatever the weight was at the time.
Yeah, there's a handful of guys that have to cut weight to make 265, which Rogan actually rallies against. Like, why would there either needs to be another weight division or heavyweight just needs to be unlimited, and they shouldn't have to cut to get to 265. Brock Lesnar used to have to cut weight to get to 265.
Yeah,
there's a number of guys that did. Yeah,
no, yeah. Rogan goes off about that. He says more than 10 pounds is too much, but even when you get in heavyweight, like you need something within 20, 25.
Well, I don't think. See, I think in heavyweight you either don't need that. You either need it or you just need it to be unlimited. Like people shouldn't have to cut to get there. Whatever that looks like.
What if you added a 235 or 245 and then there was another division of unlimited? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could, but I mean the problem with the UFC, and before we put the Greg to sleep, is that heavyweight division's always right. The heavyweight division's already extremely light, right? That's why this guy. There. This is why Stevenson can come in and maybe make noise right away. Why John Jones was able, and John Jones is an all-time great, but even at his age, it's just a very light division. And Aspinall it was confirmed. He had surgery. He got poked in the eye. He just had surgery on both eyes. Tom Aspinall might be cooked.
Well, like Rogan said, all you got to do is agree to fight. You don't need to get medically cleared necessarily. And they talked about, who was it? What's the British dude?
Yeah, so this is pretty good, Greg.
Bisping was blind in one eye. And what he did was he memorized the eye chart, apparently. Credit Joe Rogan. He memorized the eye chart and fought 11 more fights.
So he could pass his physical. He just memorized it, so when they said cover his eye, he could put down the
That's
imagine you can't see out of this eye and you're being
By the way, Ryan, if you have Bisping Bisping and Paul Felder have a podcast called Believe You Me. It's very, very good. I listen to it pretty consistently.
Check it out.
Yeah.
That is
sorry about
fantastic.
that, Greg.
I think I'm going to do that same thing and memorize the eye chart and just blow the doctors away.
Yeah.
45, I can see.
Think of the dedication, dude. Like, think of what that means. Like, that's a real commitment.
Well, the scarier part is going in and fighting people that have a good left hook when you can't see out of that eye. Taking that chance.
Or left
Rocky,
kick.
Yeah, Rocky.
Worse.
Rocky couldn't see against Apollo. You got to protect.
That's true. Hey, cut him.
Yeah, got him. Got him bad.
All right.
Moving on. Next topic. Have you got to see any of the Olympics before I just hone in on the hockey? But anything overall? Yeah. I mean, my take that I just want to say to everybody, because I went back and forth with our favorite two clowns, Danbury Dave, Vegas Darnell. Like I told you, I know you don't want to believe it, but I'm going to believe Lindsey Vonn and everybody else. It had nothing to do with her knee. She caught her arm on the gate. I tried to
She got her arm on the gate.
I tried to tell them on Sunday, and they were like, no, it had to have something to do with the knee. Nothing to do with the knee.
She completely hooked it. She tried to take too tight of a line, and she literally hooked the gate.
She hooked the gate.
Yeah.
It was clear on video. Her right hand got hooked with the protector that has on her hand, and she got caught. And when you turn doing, what was she, 63 miles an hour at that point? Over a drop, by the way, that people are clearing at 60 and going horizontally 150 feet in the air. Like, that's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have time to correct a hook in the arm.
It had nothing to do with her knee. She got too close to the gate. She hooked it, and that was it. She was toast.
It's the most upsetting morning ever because, like I told Jimmy, I was like, don't text me. I'm not getting up to watch this in live time. No, to your credit, you didn't. Poured a coffee at like 8 a.m., turned it on, watched the first 12 clowns go down the hill. Couldn't wait for Lindsey Vonn. And then my wife was like, what happened? I was like, well, she just did her best Molly Bloom impression.
Yeah.
If you don't know that story, go watch Molly's game.
But good for her, man. At 41 years old, getting out there, committing. And she said she was stable. Her knee was stable enough. They did wrap it.
She did a test run. She was fine on her first practice.
She's ready to go. And, man.
So upsetting.
Big balls on her. That's for sure.
I agree. I mean, it would have been the greatest story of all time if she won gold. I text that to Jimmy.
I mean, I know we're going to get to hockey in a minute, but it might be like that game when we beat the Russians. Like it was up.
It would have been bigger. People said to Al Michaels, "What will top this?" And he famously said, "Nothing. This would have topped it."
I agree.
It would have been the greatest story of all time. And it's too bad it didn't happen. I don't usually get, Jimmy, you can attest to this. You've known me now a long time from a gambling standpoint. I usually don't bet with my heart. I fired with my heart and was pulling so hard for Lindsey Vonn to win this.
You're pretty disciplined. I
know, and I just wanted to happen so bad.
He doesn't even want to say that out loud.
The good news is I had one backup bet, which saved me a little bit. I did have Breezy to win a medal. I should have bet her to win gold. I would have really.
Staying with skiing.
It wasn't great odds. She was only 5-1 to win the gold.
Okay, staying with skiing. Did you see Snoop learning to ski? It's the funniest thing ever.
I was the first time in my life I saw Snoop not know what to do when they panned to him, and Vaughn had wiped out. Like he literally, it looked like he almost wanted to cry.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking he actually learned to ski. So he's on the hill with Peekaboo Street, and he goes down backwards, and she like pulled him up. And he's 6'6" or whatever, 6'5". It's just funny to see that go on. He was curling a little bit too.
Dude, there is no one. He is the most he's so entertaining.
Flavor Flav literally supports the water polo teams.
Ryan, I could watch Snoop no matter what we was doing.
Me too.
It would not matter. You want me to watch UFC? Get Snoop commentating or in there.
Yep.
He loves Sugar Sean O'Malley. He loves O'Malley. He actually did some commentating on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was up on the hill, and at one point he was talking and like, wow, it's really high up here. Like there's no trees. He goes, I like a different kind of high usually. Something like that. It's funny as hell. Like
he doesn't hold back when he has a chance to talk about the weed.
He's the greatest.
He really is. From a medal standpoint, Norway right now with the most golds, and they were the odds-on favorites, so no surprise there.
We're third, right?
We are tied third with Germany, who was the second betting choice. You got to take your hats off right now. What are we, about a week in to Italy? 6 gold medals and 17 overall, which is winning. So the host country here is really putting on a good show.
Not generally known for like huge winter sports either.
Not being this far up the medal chart usually in the Winter Olympics. So well done by them. But now from a hockey standpoint, fellas.
Wait, before we get to hockey, hold on. I'm not done with other subjects yet.
All right.
So you saw the mixed curling?
Yeah.
Mixed doubles where we got a silver, first medal ever.
We got the silver, and they were favored to win gold and blew it. They were minus 200 in that gold match.
Really?
Yeah.
They weren't projected to win a medal going in, I don't believe, unless I'm mistaken.
Nope, they were not.
Yeah, that's what I was going at. So,
but yeah, they were actually minus 200 favorites to win the gold going in.
Gotcha. And big controversy yesterday. Did you see the ice dancing thing?
I did. So, the U.S. team should have won, and the France judge was like, hey. And for everyone out there that's listening, this is why it's not available to bet in most states, because of that bullshit.
Yeah, because the French and everybody might think, oh, they gave kind of an outlandish score. No, they gave the biggest spread from the U.S. to the French score from that one judge. Like, it's clear, like, breach of something.
You know what you got to start doing? If you're going to, I think it's still 9 judges, correct? And just figure skating. You got to throw out the bottom 2. Maybe throw out the bottom 2 and the top 2 every time.
Don't you drop the top one and the bottom one? I believe.
Maybe you're right. Maybe we need to do it bottom 1.
I think it's 9 and they drop the top 1 and drop the bottom 1. But I'm not positive on that.
It's basically UFC judging. I'll bring it full circle. I mean, it's just all bullshit.
Well, even worse, they're affiliated with some of the people in front of them. It's not secret relationships. It's like, you are the French judge. This is the French team.
Right. How about you don't vote when your team is out there? Like maybe the French judge.
Yeah. You need judges from But then you might have a judge that dislikes your. I mean, like anytime you're getting judged on that, when there's not just a finish line, like it's speed skating, right? Anytime it's just like the floor routine in the Summer Olympics. It's always going to be people making mistakes.
I got to tell you both, and you know me, I'll just be an open book on here. My Netflix must think I'm a 14-year-old girl, because I got to tell you, Finding Her Edge, teen drama on Netflix, came out this month with the Olympics. Fantastic. Can't wait for season 2.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your new identity.
It spun me to another show, because it's like, you must be a 14-year-old teenager. So let me recommend another one. This escaped my radar years ago. It's called Younger with Hilary Duff. Fantastic show.
Oh my God. Do you know what my wife's watching right now? And she's on season 2, episode 14 is Veronica Mars.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, I saw that came out. I'll watch that too.
The worst show I've ever seen.
Yeah, it probably is.
I like the characters, but the overall show is ridiculous. It goes back and forth from now to past over and over.
I feel like this isn't like a hot take that Veronica Mars is a bad show.
I never saw it. I don't think I've ever heard of it.
I've never saw it either, but I'm sure it is. My bad show. I loved Dawson's Creek when I was younger. James Van Der Beek,
just going to bring it up.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
R.I.P. James.
Alfonso Ribeiro just posted a picture on Facebook I saw of like some of the last moments, and Van der Beek, whatever he had, he did not look well.
Colon cancer.
Was that what it was? I didn't see a
They did not catch it early, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so he got
48.
stage 3 when they caught it. Yeah, I'll say RIP to the greatest backup quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
Varsity Blues.
And unfortunately, this happened, God, it was probably 7 or 8 years ago. He's not the only one from that movie. Unfortunately, he was no longer with us. Billy Bob died a while ago.
Yeah, I think we talked about that on the show, actually.
I miss Billy Bob. Oh, but sorry, we can do a whole show on James Van Der Beek. That's how much I like him, and I know you like him. The hockey. Fellas, I wish you listened to me a month ago when I told you get the U.S. women in pocket, because I got them in pocket minus 110, and I could not be happier because I think they're minus 500 to win the gold now. They are
very
phenomenal.
I was telling you when before we aired tonight, I watched him walk off the bus, and I'm like, whoa. I don't even know how to say it. I'm just telling you watched them walk and the way they moved, and like, I don't know, they just looked really focused.
All business.
But tough as shit, too.
All business. You know? It's over. I mean, they made Canada look like they were not even in this. They shouldn't have been on the same ice with them.
Isn't that, no disrespect to the rest of the world, but isn't that the only other team that has a shot at them?
Correct. Yes, okay. That's it. It's those two and everybody else. And we made them look foolish. What about the men? I know we just started. Canada looked great today. And again, that's my pick to win the gold. Sorry, U.S. I had them in the formations.
I picked them up when it was 3-0. There were 16 minutes to go in the third. It was one more goal for whatever. You'd be proud of me. I put $5 on that.
That was good. You sent me a money line parlay when we were
that was a good one.
Here. That was a good win for you. How did you come up with those random teams?
I'm just that guy. Sometimes, what is it? The sun shines on a whatever, blah, 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 that kind of thing. That was a good one, though, right?
It was. Do you just look in live betting and say, hey, it's time to munch some chalk, so let me put all these favorites together in a parlay?
I do.
I'm going to beer, boys. Talk about yourself.
So this is a random method, and take it if you like it. I don't usually bet like anything past like minus 300, right?
Yep.
But I usually look for something like 180 to 280 minus, and I just pick like 3 of them on a money line. And it usually gets you roughly 3 to 1 odds.
You made this before the game started.
Yes.
Oh, good. You got lucky with Northern Kentucky scoring 57 in the second half.
Yes. I didn't say it wasn't lucky.
Yeah, there's a lucky. Well, they blew them out, so it wasn't that lucky. I was going to say UMass Lowell scored 46, but look at you betting a UMass Lowell, Maryland, Baltimore County, and a Northern Kentucky parlay. Well done.
Heck yeah. Northern Kentucky. That was like a few hours ago. I was just bored in between something I was doing at work.
Yeah, I'm extremely proud of you for that.
Thanks, man.
All right, so
cheers to you.
Thank you. So are we all in agreement, or Jimmy, are you going to try to stand up to me like you did last year? The U.S. going to take Canada out for this gold, or is Canada winning this gold?
I think Canada's probably winning it, but I'd love if the U.S. won.
I wouldn't.
I saw Crosby's like list of accomplishments, and I know he was on the cover of SI at 15, and it is ridiculous the amount of like just high accolades he's gotten. And I think this is clearly his last one. I mean, he's got to be old now, right? 36, something like that.
No, he's got to be 40, doesn't he?
Is he older?
I think he's 38 or 39.
I mean, this has to be his last run, right? And I just watched him on the ice, and just like the women's hockey team, he just looked laser focused.
Well, maybe he is 40, Jimmy. And they were only at 20. He's probably 40.
I know that team today was not up to par on their level, but they were flying around the net, and they were crashing the net hard. They were hitting hard without penalties. It was fun to watch.
I mean,
the funny part wasn't hard. You guys weren't working hard, apparently. You were watching the hockey.
No. I was on mute in the background. I had a million interviews today.
Not true. To anyone listening from our company, always working hard. I was doing a lot of work. Ryan too. We were on the same interview panel. So Jimmy, Jimmy taking shots because he's no longer here. It's fine. Here's the thing. Ryan's talking about Crosby, and no disrespect at all, and I don't think he would even take it this way. He's probably like the 9th best guy on the team at this point. That's how good that is.
But like, don't you have that guy, that person in your life that you would work for, that you're going to trust, that no matter what he says, you're going with it. It's one team together trying to get to a goal, no pun intended. Like that's what I'm talking about. I don't mean it's necessarily him individually.
No, and he's had an unbelievable career, but what's crazy is McKinnon and McDavid might finish up their careers ahead of him.
Absolutely.
McDavid, they got Makar sitting there as well, and he's the best defenseman in the league by far.
Yeah.
The team is absolutely disgusting.
It's some team. Yep.
They're incredible. I like I said, I said this before. I'll say it again. I
I
don't
have
think
to say that my money will be with you, but my heart will be tickling Jimmy. I am
Yeah,
all
you know
for
what,
US.
I
I'm
can-
going to have to do it.
here's the thing. I can separate this because again, they all live here. So
Right.
I'm Team Canada all day. I'll be rooting for them. My heart will be with them. Let's go, Team Canada. I love all the players on that team. I don't like many of the U.S. players besides Austin Matthews. So I can't wait to root against the USA.
Fair enough.
I think the Hughes boys.
Yeah, I hate them too.
I like 'em.
Especially
if you
the two other brothers, the one that plays for the Rangers and the Panthers. I hate them too.
the Kachucks.
Yeah, I hate them both. I won't even say their name. I know it is. I just won't say their name. That's how much I hate them. They're both douches.
Yeah,
I love how the one who played for the Panthers hated Marchand until he came on the team. Now they're best buddies. Don't be an asshole, buddy. If you don't like him, go fight him. I don't care if he's on your team. Sorry, I had to put a wire back into my computer. It dropped again. God damn it.
Random. It was on the news tonight. I don't know if you guys saw this. Random Olympic stuff, but like New York's putting a bid together to like host the Winter Olympics.
New York City
They should.
or New York
Yeah.
State. Like, how does that
No,
work?
so it would just like they split up Milan and Cortina, they do New
Yeah.
York City and Lake Placid.
Of course.
Oh,
It's already
okay.
been in Lake Placid. Lake Placid was one of the best
It
Olympics
has
they
been
ever
in Lake
had.
Placid, but imagine part of it was in New York City.
Wasn't that
I know, but I'm
1980?
just saying Lake Placid was one of the best Olympics they ever had.
Was that 80 or 84?
80.
No, 80.
Come on.
Had to be.
Yeah, I wasn't alive, unfortunately, for the miracle.
I think that was the one we. Was it 80 that we won the miracle? Or that was 76.
No, 1980.
80.
Okay, it was 84 and 88 that were boycotted both ways. Got it. Because the Russians didn't come to LA in 84, and then I forget. I think maybe that's the only one I'm thinking. I'm sorry.
Before we end with some hoops, Ryan, you had some pop culture stuff you wanted me and Jimmy to guess this time, and since a couple of our listeners said they don't want to hear it anymore, I can't wait to do it every episode. So what do you got for us?
Oh, well, we don't have to do it if they don't
Oh
want
no,
to.
we don't care what their opinion is. They're going to listen. They're going to listen well, and I want to recap from both of them.
Excellent. All right. So, boys, I've got obviously this is from a company called Circle Rank. Circle Ranks have no idea who they are, but
Okay.
I agree with a lot of their picks. So, this is a list of the top 50 shows of all time.
All time.
So they're all series. It's not movies, just to be clear. It's all series, and I want one of you to pick a show, and then the other one's gonna tell me how it ranks. So who wants to go first?
I mean, I'll say Seinfeld.
Oh God,
God, I don't have best recall here.
Seinfeld, eighth or ninth.
I would go 5.
So it's okay. I got it. What did you say? You said
I'd go
top
8
five?
or 9, top 10.
It's 13th on this list.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Good guess though. All right. So Jimmy, Greg, you pick the show now.
All right, can I just give you who I think's number 1?
Sure.
Sopranos.
No. You finally
What's
got something wrong. Thank God.
Bad
That's number
list.
2 though. To be fair. And
So
number
what's
1.
So then one's Breaking Bad or The Wire.
What Breaking Bad exactly? And Wire's 4. Job. See, all
All
right,
right,
play the
what
game
we
how you
chose-
want, man. Don't follow my rule.
I love Breaking Bad, but the idea that Breaking Bad is better than The Sopranos is just
They're
yeah.
different subjects, like pretty.
yeah. But
completely in my
Sopranos
mind.
made TV what it like. The Sopranos is the reason that Breaking Bad exists.
That's probably a good take.
I'll agree with that because there weren't really many edgy series prior to
It
that.
was the first series that was must see like tune in television.
If it's all time, you're going to have Game of Thrones in the top 10. You're going to have Mad Men in the top 10.
5.
You're going to have
Mad
Twilight
Men, no.
Zone in the top 10.
Mad Men's not there.
Mad Men's not there?
It's not in top 10. It's number 29 on this one.
This
What?
is the worst,
I
this is the
didn't
worst
hear your
list of
other
all
show.
time.
Terrible list. This is
Yeah,
a terrible
this is-
list.
This is yeah. Go. You got to find a better list.
Yeah.
Where's
we can
Saturday,
move on if you
Saturday
want.
Night Live? Where are they?
Not on here. Best I can see.
If the West Wing's not in the top 20, we're going to stop this game.
I didn't like West Wing to be fair, but
Oh,
it's
terrible.
not on
And
here.
it was-
In the top 50. Yeah, this
So
game's-
here, just let me give you the top. Let's say 15, and you tell me what you hate.
Where's Boardwalk Empire?
I love that show.
Also not on the list.
I'm sure it's on here, but That's
Ladies
it's
and
50.
gentlemen, Ryan
Give us,
found the
top,
worst-
give us top 15.
Let's
Yeah,
knock
go
that. Yeah, let's go to top 15. So you got Breaking Bad, Sopranos, Band of Brothers, which I didn't love. It's not my favorite thing, but I get
It's
that.
all right.
But Band of Brothers is a mini series. Like,
It's
I don't
a
even think it
miniseries.
counts as a
Still a
series.
series though.
The
Same idea.
miniseries, it was okay.
The Wire is 4. Game
The
of
Wire
Thrones,
was good.
Better Call Saul, which I really liked.
Better Call
What the hell
Saul
is-
was awesome.
Yeah. What the hell is Attack on Titan? Anybody?
No clue.
Me neither. Chernobyl.
Chernobyl, I watched the first 3 or 4. It was very, very good. But it's
Okay.
again, it's a 6-part miniseries.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me finish my break.
Count.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia. People
Okay.
like that. That's very
All right.
popular.
I like that. Yeah, it was good.
Avatar: Last Airbender. I can't follow it all. Who cares? But it probably was popular because that manga stuff. you
I
know?
actually watched that. It was good, but I wouldn't put it up that high.
Yeah.
The Office, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Seinfeld, Peaky Blinders, Entourage. I don't know Severance. I have no idea what that is, but
Everybody
that's my
loves
top
Severance.
15.
Severance was good.
Ted Lasso soon after. The Penguin. Actually, I watched a bunch of that. That was pretty good.
It's got
Sons of
one
Anarchy.
season. How can it be a top show of all time?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Hey, on top of this, I love Curb, but Curb cannot be over Seinfeld.
No, never.
I agree. Yeah.
And Curb's probably not a top 15 show.
No.
Yep.
It's
They even have
fantastic.
SpongeBob on here at 39. I
Yeah.
don't know. Just fun to talk about shows. I like
Is
shows.
it tough list?
No,
You know
it
what's
is,
not
but-
on here? One of my favorite shows of all time, and if you haven't watched it, go watch Queer as Folk. It's a little aggressive, I'm not gonna lie, but it is an unbelievable show full of characters. It's fantastic.
Eastbound and Down. Did it make the top 50?
Yeah, Eastbound and Down should be a top 50
That
show.
was good. Yeah, I like that. That probably is on here actually.
On
The
this,
first
Oh,
season
West
of
Wing.
East-
There you go. 47. Sorry.
yeah, West Wing's weighted way too low. That should be a top 20 show. I always advocate on this list that House should be farther up than it is. House probably
like
on
House.
this list.
I like House.
I
That
think
was
House
one
is a top
ornery
20 show.
motherfucker.
Oh my god, that was one of the best shows.
Like House.
Sons of Anarchy, I always say should be a top 20, 25 show.
I
What the
think
Wonder
that
Years.
I truly think that is a show similar to Sopranos, and I'm not saying it's better. Don't go there. But that biker mentality, that aggression, those characters they had on there, and the fact
Awesome.
that like a Peg Bundy can go and play that character, and that dude that was the badass like dad, her ex-husband or whatever he was, I can't remember what show he was in, but he's been a million different things. Like he was amazing. The main character was a no one that all of a sudden became like in our hearts like amazing, and then we never saw him again. I don't know. That was a terrific show, and I don't hate the follow up to that about the Mexican gang,
The Mayans.
Mayans. I mean, we watched the first season and a half, 2 seasons of that, and then got a little old, but because it was the same thing,
Same show. Yep.
But it was cool.
I would, yeah. Sons was great. I that should be a top show. And then I don't know how new or old your list is, but the fact that Yellowstone's not put in the top 10 at this
No,
point.
no,
is
I'm
stupid.
sure it's not that new. And what's the other one about the funeral home? That was unbelievable. With the guy that
6 feet under.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
6
was
feet under.
Yeah, yeah.
unbelievable show. 6 Feet Under was crazy back in the day. That was really good. And Heroes, don't forget Heroes.
Heroes
That
was
was
good.
a terrific show. I love that. It was so entertaining and light and fun.
You know what series was? I thought now we're just rabbit holing it completely.
Fine.
I thought Watchmen was phenomenal. Did you see
I
Watchmen?
watched a
The
little bit of
movie
that.
I liked. I thought the series was awesome.
Watched
I
a
think I'm
little
with
bit of it.
Greg when I say that True Blood was also should be in there. It was
You know,
so
the problem
corny
is
and
True
fun.
Blood got really, really, really like soap opera-y in the later seasons, but the first 2 seasons of True Blood were unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean Eric was like one of the greatest characters that's ever existed.
Very good.
Hey, look. I don't know why Pretty Little Liars isn't number 1.
This
You know what?
This is who we're hanging out with.
You know what? Big Little Lies with Nicole Kidman. That was awesome.
Pretty Little Liars was great.
I didn't see Pretty Little Liars.
Well, look, you should. Let's just say.
Hey, you want to
Let's just say they're not unattractive in that show.
You want a fun note that I don't think I said last time because I think we just watched it and we watched the whole season called The Insider. Did you watch that, Greg? It's
I
got
did not.
Dwight Howard on it.
I have not seen that.
Did not see it.
So in like episode 5, they literally the long or the short is they put a bunch of YouTubers into this hole basically, and it's like an underground prison looking thing. That's the environment, right? It's all cement walls, that kind of thing. And you get $1 million. And to get a cup of coffee, it costs you $2,500. With cream is $2,800. That kind of thing. You can order a scooter, you can order a shot of tequila, this kind of thing. Doesn't matter. Point is, he got called into the room, and it's not nomination. Well, it is nominations actually, but regardless, doesn't matter. So he went into that room because they called him there to make some sort of choice, and they announced that he got into the Hall of Fame. Dude, he just leaned over and started bawling. And then he went back in the room, and he's been in this little hole for like 4 days, which obviously creates intense.
This is a reality show?
Yeah. The Insider, it's called. It creates intense relations, right? So he went in and like just lost his shit to the group, and they all were so genuine and nice and whatnot. And then credit to Dwight Howard, somebody that was a huge fan, and I watched this clip the other day. There's this guy on the internet, and I can't remember his name, or I would shout him out. He goes around giving away cars and houses and shit like that. It's really like heartwarming. It makes you tear up, this kind of thing. Anyway, he found this kid that was a huge Dwight Howard fan back in the day that now was 35 or 38 or something like that, who had kids and they were troubled and whatever. So this guy invited him to Dwight's Hall of Fame induction. Dwight Howard was so enamored that this guy came and whatever he's doing for him, he gave him his Hall of Fame ring. Now, I don't know if that's real, but he literally handed this guy his Hall of Fame ring and said, "You keep it. This is more important to you, and I just appreciate you coming and this guy helping you out." Kind of crazy.
Maybe I'll watch that show.
It's total trash TV. It's fantastic. Love it.
I'm gonna have to get Peacock back. I don't know if you saw, but Ted season 2 is coming out soon.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And season 1 of Ted should be in that list too. Season 1 of Ted was awesome. Awesome. Jimmy agrees. He stepped off camera, but he agrees.
Yeah, no, I watched it. I just started watching my last comment. We need to move on. But I just started watching The Burbs because I love the original. I love the movie The Burbs. And I like Keke Palmer, and she stars in the show. I watched the first 2 episodes. Big fan so far. See where it goes.
All right.
Also on Peacock.
All right. NBA. It's All-Star Weekend coming up. Jimmy, I asked you this earlier before we got on air. Do you have dunk contest odds up in Jersey? Because New York said not going to happen. Ryan, do you have it up? Yeah, do you have it up in Maryland? Can you bet it in Maryland?
Oh.
Yeah, because again, you can't bet that stuff where, like, I can't bet figure skating in New York because it's the judges' bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't see anything about the All-Star game.
No, see.
Oh, you got to go. So if you're on DraftKings, you got to go to actual basketball, hit the drop-down menu, and it'll say NBA All-Star Weekend.
Okay. Got it. All right, I'm there. Let's see, 3-point. No, I got All-Star game. I got 3-point contest, Shooting Stars, Rising Stars.
Yeah, me too. Same in New York.
Yep, that's it.
All right. Well, hey, look, we'll start with the All-Star game. Format's a little funky this year. We got the Stars, the Stripes, and the World. Who wins the round robin? And what happens if they all go 1-1?
Do we care?
I kind of want to know what happens if they all go 1-1. Do we know the rules, Jimmy?
I don't.
To answer your question, I do not see the dunk contest. I'm not sure why.
I'm going to go. I don't know. I mean, the World is minus 148 versus the U.S. Stars to kick it off.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm going to.
All right, so
I'm going to say the U.S. Stars. I'm going to take the long shot on the Stars, like just because.
the All-Star game tips off, blah, blah, blah. Each walk away. Okay, nobody cares.
Greg,
right.
There's 4 people in the dunk contest in Maryland, at least.
Yeah, that's all there is. You can bet it in Maryland?
Yeah. Carter Bryant's at plus 180. Jackson
Yeah.
Hayes is plus 250. Keyshawn Johnson's plus 320. Richardson is plus 350.
All right. Well,
I have no idea who any of those people.
new All-Star game rules.
Case Richardson played for Michigan State last year. He was really good.
So is it always freshmen now?
Okay.
Is that always what it is?
This is how it works, boys. They play 12-minute games, thank God, so we're not going to do that stupid shit where they play to a point thing. So they play 12-minute games, and the top 2 teams move on to the championship. So it's 4 12-minute quarters again. So there's no stupid target score or anything like that. Thank God. That was awful. I hated every second of that.
Can we just cancel all All-Star games besides baseball?
If you look at the lineups, it makes sense that the World is the favorite here. Make quite a bit of sense, actually.
A waste of time.
But I'm gonna,
you're
not wrong, Ryan. It's not
Jimmy, did you see
great.
this new bottle? Look at this.
Jimmy goes, it makes a lot of sense. The world's the favorite. They're
Look at this
$1.65 to the plus. The Stars are 170 and the
Yeah, but they are. But like, if you just have me read down this, if you have me read down this list, the world has Luka, SGA, Jokic, Jamal Murray, Sagoon, Siakam, Victor Wembanyama, Giannis. Like, I mean, it's.
I am, and I'm not taking shots. Don't worry. The U.S. has LeBron somewhere in there, right? He still made it as like
one of the stripes do, but the
I'm taking plus 200 on the U.S. Stars. Done and done.
Yeah.
Not to be funny, Greg, but did you hit this last year? I believe you personally. I don't remember what Jimmy said.
I've hit the 3-point contest the last few years. I'm about to.
No. I thought you won. Like there was some version of this same ridiculousness with 4 teams or something last year.
I won the Rising Stars, which I'll win again this year for you. But I'm gonna give you the winner of the 3-point contest yet again. But I'll let Jimmy go first.
You know, 3-point contest.
Yep.
I'm gonna take Devin Booker plus 750.
Well, Jimmy's done it again. He did this last year too when we both picked the winner. He has stole my thunder, and I am 100% with Jimmy. Love Devin Booker plus 750, and I'll tell you what, the rookie here, Knoepel, is a great bet at 3-1 because this guy can flat out shoot. So I don't hate it, and I'm probably going to do it if you bet them both. And basically, you walk away with a 3-1 and a 7.5-1. You root for Booker, but you got yourself a little backup bet there too.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Are we going to talk any regular NBA or just All-Star Weekend? Because
We'll go to the regular NBA futures in a second because I want to get your opinion there. But Ryan, you have a flyer on the 3-point contest? You want to give the peeps?
I don't, man. I'll go with you guys. You both sound resoundingly positive on Booker, so I'll go.
Devin Booker's a great pure shooter. He's a Kentucky guy. That's why Greg likes him. But he's got a true stroke. If you look at this list and it's just pure shooters, he's the best one on it. But Damian Lillard, which I don't even know how this works because he's been hurt, but like is Mr. kind of big shot of this time. But just pure shooters outside of Knoepel, he's the best one on this list. I like Tyrese Maxey for he's young and energetic, so he's not going to fatigue through this process. But Devin Booker's the best shooter on the list. I don't understand. Jamal Murray's streaky. Donovan Mitchell, same thing. I think that's great odds on Booker.
I agree. Jimmy, you're gonna love this take for the shooting stars. I'm all in on the favorite. Normally, I don't love the favorites in this stuff, but I'm taking Team Knicks plus 150.
All right, I like it.
Give us a little breakdown. Why do Team Knicks win it?
Let's pull up the full rosters here. Shooting stars roster, so I can give you a good breakdown. So I'm not just guessing here.
Oh, do you not know who made the shooting stars for your Knicks?
I did.
We'll watch Jimmy be surprised together, everybody who's watching. He'll be happy when he sees it. It's people he likes.
All right. Team Czar, Team Cameron, Jalen Knoepel. Why is this so hard to figure out? Why don't you just tell me? And I'll tell you about it.
I'd rather watch you look for it.
Yeah, what a pain in the ass. Team Knicks. So yeah, all right. So Brunson and Towns.
Yep.
Compete with Allen Houston. All right.
Don't you like how they're putting Allen Houston out there for you?
I do. I love Houston. Pure shooter. They're that team that way overachieved. Dylan Harper, Ron Harper Jr.
It's the long shot with Team Harper.
Yeah, you got Jalen Johnson, Con Knoepel, and Corey McGetty. Scotty Barnes, Chet Holmgren, and Rip Hamilton. That's a decent team.
It's Team Knicks all day here, boys.
It's Team Knicks. Yeah, Brunson and Towns with Allen Houston. Give me Team Knicks. Yeah, it's not even close. Let's bet
all
that.
Right.
Double down.
I did this last year. I'm doing it again. Rising Stars. You got Team T-Mac, Team Vince, Team Mello, Team Austin, who is plus 850. So I think we can say goodbye to Team Austin. He's not a Hall of Famer, but he can win in the Rising Stars. I'll take Team Mello plus 230.
All right. Castle's awesome. Dylan Harper's awesome. You know how much I love Jeremiah Fears. Loved him from last year. I've been talking about him since he played at Oklahoma. Klingon's been playing really well. Ace Bailey, they reunite him, and Cooper Flag. I mean, we don't even have to talk about the other teams. That's all you need to know. You can, it's over. Now, you can make an argument for Team Vince if you want to go down the board a little bit.
Wait,
because
what team are you on?
I'm on Team Mello all the way.
Me too, but the problem is Flag's not playing. He's out All-Star weekend.
That's okay. You've got Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey.
I like him too. I think we got better odds because Flag's not there.
Yeah, I love Jeremiah Fears. As you know, I think he's one of the best there. I think it's a home run. I think Team Austin at 850 should probably be 1200. I think 850 is a little bit short on that line. Give me Team Mello. Let's go. Vince has got a chance. I'm not going Team Mac. I'd go Mello or Vince, but I'm going Team Mello.
All right, you wanted regular season stuff, so go ahead. What do you got for us?
No, look, the Knicks. The fucking Knicks. You'd think I'd be happy with a 9-game win streak. You'd think I'd be happy with 8-2 in the last 10. But I'm not. And let me tell you why.
I can't wait to hear.
And then this is for our Jersey John, if you're listening. We lost the only game that mattered. We won all these games. We beat Denver in overtime. And then we got hammered by Detroit. When we saw the Knicks last night, I talked about it on a show. It was early January. I said, we're in no man's land. But I watched the first half of that game versus Detroit in early January, and I turned the game off. I said, I can't even watch it. We're not even competitive. And then we're going into this with an 8-game win streak, and we just get hammered by the Pistons. And your hope's got to be, like, how do you not feel hopeless as a Knicks fan when the number 1 seed is just owns you at this point? And you barely made it through them last year. Then you get back on track, and you lose to the Pacers. The Pacers have an historically bad road record, and you lose in overtime. Should have never gone to overtime. Now, you come back last night, and you win by 50 against the Sixers, and for some reason, the Knicks own the Sixers. When you watch a Knicks game in Philly, it's like a home game. Everybody from New York goes down there, buys the tickets. It takes over, which is wild for a big city like Philly with rabid fans. I can't believe they let that happen. But it is the truth. So the Knicks are on this theoretically solid streak, and I still feel bad about it. And it's not because I'm a pessimistic fan. It's because they lost a game to the shitty Pacers when they just didn't step up their effort, and they lost the real game to Detroit, and it looks like they don't have an answer for the Pistons. So what are you going to do? And they're still have better odds to win it all than the Pistons. I don't understand that to save my life. Maybe that's my pessimism as a fan, but I love to feel better about where they are right now. I simply can't because the teams they lost. When they beat Denver, you call me out. Oh, I do love Jokic, but I was watching that game. I was out of town on work. I was so pumped watching that game. Knicks pulled it out. I thought they were going to drop, and then they come back and they just get hammered by the Pistons. So I can't feel good about it.
Jimmy, I have to say I don't know a lot about basketball until playoff time, and then I pay a lot of attention. I've been tasked with paying much more attention, so I will do that. However, I am just shocked. Like, the stuff you say about the Browns is very homerish. Like, and I'm a Patriots homer, so I respect that. It's not a shot at you. I don't mean it badly. But, like, that's a very realistic take you take on the Knicks. I like it. I like the respect for the sport, and I like kind of the realistic view where, like, you have a solid team that did well last year, and you're kind of really laying it out there. I appreciate that.
I will give you this take on the NBA, and then obviously when the All-Star breaks over and we get into March, we'll be a lot more kind of honed in as we come down the home stretch. But the overreaction in the betting markets to James Harden becoming a Cav is insane.
It's plus 500.
They're the favorite.
I just read it.
They're the favorite to win the Eastern Conference. They're down to plus 300.
But it was plus 500 to win the title. So they went from plus 1,800 to plus 1,300, I think.
And as a guy that obviously follows Cleveland sports, I'll still root for the Knicks over the Cavs in a head-to-head game, but Cavs would be my number 2 team in the East. At first, I was like, "Fucking Harden's such an asshole. Like, why would you do this?" But then I thought about it. I'm like, "Well, what are you gonna do? You get the same result year over year. Like, they were great last year. And then they just get like, you got to do something. And so why not take a shot? Like, you're Cleveland. You're not going to put a bunch of stars. You can get James Harden for a year or two.
Yeah, but that's not, my point is he always comes up short in the playoffs. So
he's a complete disappointment in the playoffs.
Right. So what's the overreaction of the betting market, Jimmy?
I don't know. Maybe they think that he doesn't matter because he's not their best player now. Donovan Mitchell is their best player, and I think Evan Mobley's hurt right now. But they've Jaron out. They just have other options that he doesn't have to be the guy. They had a very good game last night. He only took 4 shots because he just didn't have to. So if James Harden accepts his role and he comes up big when he has to, maybe it's the move. But I think it's an overreaction. And they traded away some good pieces to get him. They mortgaged the future to try to win now. And normally that would bother me, but again, because Cleveland just comes up short Cleveland is the team version of James Harden. They get to the playoffs and they don't show up, right? So like if anywhere he fits in is right here because that's what the entire Cavs team does every year.
The weird thing with Harden is it seems like someone has to ignite him, and I don't want to say he's selfish because I don't know the guy. I don't want to judge people like that, but he doesn't seem worried about what other people are doing at times, and he does tend to kind of shut down and give up a little bit at times, and you just never know when it's going to be. They could be up 30 or down 30. You just don't know when he's going to do that. And that's the frustrating part with him.
Money in strip clubs, those are his big too.
I mean, he's been in 3. This is the 4th time he's been traded in the last 6 years or something. It's something like that. I took a picture of it.
It's an overreaction. I don't understand why Detroit looks like the best team in the East. I don't understand why they don't. And Denver is still the second shortest odds to win the whole thing.
Yeah, and Cleveland is now third, 12-1. I think it's a terrible bet, but we'll get back to the NBA. Let's move on to college hoops. Jimmy, I got to give you credit because you told me this yesterday, and I wrote you back, and I said you won't have the opportunity in live betting. Did you get Michigan in live and slam them like you told me you were going to?
I got Michigan money line -105 live and slammed it.
Good for you. Good for you. I heard they were getting upwards of 6-7 points at one point.
They were getting so I got them almost even money on the money line. I think it was they were getting +1.5. There was 14 minutes left, and they were almost in the bonus already. I'm like, this is a home run. Like, they're not going to lose this game. Like, Northwestern was playing their best game with their best effort, and eventually the talent was going to catch up, and it did. Michigan not only came back, but won by double digits. It does make me nervous. Well, they shouldn't have let them hang around, but look, they're getting everybody's best shot, and they were playing at Northwestern. They got their best shot. They took the big shot, and they came back and won by double digits. So yes, I did.
Good for you. I mean, again, you said it, and I'm glad you got it because you were all over that. So well done, sir.
And they're back on KenPom on the top. They'll probably somehow still be the second-ranked team behind Arizona for some reason. When the new coaches and AP poll comes out, they won't give them the respect they're due, even though they're number 1 in KenPom and have been most of the year.
Most of the year, they've been number 1. Yeah, they're number 1 defensive rated team, number 5th offensive. Look, the top 4 teams right now in KenPom are your most likely winners of the national championship. I still think Florida's dangerous. I think
they're very dangerous.
I think Iowa State is very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust Gonzaga. Kansas is starting to worry me a little bit with that freshman.
And you called this earlier in the year. You said, and it's so true, Alabama is literally a carbon copy of their players last year. They can score 1,000,000 points and they can't defend you at all. I don't trust them.
I don't think they'll win it, but I know it's going to sound like because I'm a fan. I think Kentucky, if they get in, and I think at 17-7 with that schedule they've played, I think they're in now. They just need a few more wins.
They're in.
I think they're going to give some teams fits in the first few rounds.
No, they're getting better, and they've had a tough schedule. I think that look, St. John's is starting to come on. That win against UConn was huge. That was big. So I think St. John's, they started the year high. I wasn't high on them, but they're starting to come around.
BYU just forgot how to play defense. I mean, their offense is phenomenal. They just can't play defense. I think they fell to 56 in the KenPom in defense.
It's not great. Look, Michigan State's going to hang around. Purdue's still solid. I agree with you, though. I think Florida. I mean,
they're dangerous.
Florida's played a gauntlet of a schedule. They're going to be right there.
I do not trust UConn at all. The Big East is way down.
It's very weird. They have like individuals that are amazing players, like stunning players, and they just, for whatever reason, they can't be consistent. So they could blow somebody out, but they can also keep 100 a team ranked 100 within 2.
I don't like the way they looked against St. John's. They looked nervous
No,
down
me
the
neither.
stretch. I didn't like the way they looked at Georgetown when they pulled out that win.
Yeah,
I'm not being
I
a
watched.
homer.
I
I'm
watched
just
that whole. I watched the full second half of that game. I thought they were going to lose at Georgetown.
Their physical talent is ridiculous when you look at that center is very huge, athletic. He's not overly thick or overly skinny. He looks like she should dominate. Solo Ball is crazy fast first step and a solid 3-shooter, but they just, for whatever reason, can't put it all together. And they got more than that.
Let's go through the Saturday slate quick, and then we'll end with a little. I'll give you guys a little bracketology where Joel Lenardi has everybody right now. But Saturday slate real quick. Clemson, Duke. Duke 11.5-point favorites. Clemson coming off a terrible loss to Virginia at home. Virginia Tech, excuse me. I think it was Virginia Tech. And then Duke, the North Carolina game. They should have probably won, but Carolina came back and beat them. Do you think Duke just lays down the hammer here Saturday at Cameron Indoor?
I think they probably do. Yeah.
All right. Question for you. If you wanted to go if you want to go see this game on Saturday, cheapest ticket to get in the building. I love doing this to you guys.
I'm going to say
North Carolina?
$80.
$80 to get into Cameron.
What? No. I'm going $249.
Ryan's closer. $453, your cheapest seat.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that stadium, that whole thing is crazy. When you start reading about like how you get tickets in either one, like at either campus in those rivalry games, it's a weird thing. There's X amount of limited tickets, and and then it gets nuts.
UCLA hopping on a plane to come to Ann Arbor to take a pounding by Michigan. Michigan giving 16.5. Would you lay it, Jimmy, or at this point, are you just a little nervous because Michigan seems to just?
I wouldn't lay it. Michigan's going to win the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Michigan, they're coming off of this tight game away from home. They're gonna hammer UCLA. 16.5 is a lot of points against not a terrible. The UCLA is a decent team. That's a lot of points. If I had to bet it one way or the other, I would take Michigan because they've proven they've how many they've 7 or 8 20-point win games this season.
I agree.
But I would probably avoid. I'll watch as a fan and hope Michigan
does.
Of
points. 16.5 is a lot. When you have a decent contender, not like a bottom 300,
Jimmy,
UCLA is not a bad team.
But if you wanted to get in the building, what are you paying for the cheapest seat?
I mean, it's not a rivalry game. It's just a game.
119.
Yeah. I'll go with Ryan. I was going to say 120.
$63.
All right.
Kansas going to Ames to play Iowa State. Great game here. Top 10 matchup. Iowa State giving 5.5. You take the points here, Jimmy?
I would take Kansas in the points. Kansas is coming off a big win. Arizona, they're getting better. You said they've got the best player in the country, potentially.
Best freshman in the country.
Best freshman in the country, yeah. I would give me the 5.5. I'll take the 5.5.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy has said a lot, but he's wrong. Lay the 5.5. Iowa State blows the doors off Kansas. They just beat Arizona. Here comes the letdown. Give me Iowa State. And the best part, Jimmy, if you want to go see this, what's the cheapest ticket that Keegan can pay to get in to see his Kansas Jayhawks take a beating?
In Iowa State, I mean, well,
$47.
I think I believe minimum wage in Iowa is $3.75, so it's probably somewhere in the area of $12 to get into this game.
47.
$140, cheapest ticket.
That's unbelievable. But I'll tell you, Kansas has played an unbelievably tough schedule. It's the third toughest schedule in college basketball. Florida, that's why they're ranked so high, because they've also played a really difficult schedule. I hate Kansas. I hope everything goes wrong for them. But I will. You're gonna give me 5.5 coming off that win, and they're getting better. I'll take it.
Hey, let me ask you a question before we move on to the next game. So I grew up where Greg grew up, but I didn't go to the same schools. So where you guys grew up in high school, did you have to pay to get into certain sports, like $5-6 or whatever the number was at the time?
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Jesus, that's normal. What the hell's wrong with the world?
Yeah,
it's 100% normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to keep the lights on. You should have.
No, you don't.
They don't just let every. Well, how do you get a ticket then? How do they? Who's allowed in?
You
or
need
not?
a ticket to go to track and field. Who cares?
Okay, so for us,
Field.
It was only varsity, right? It wasn't like JV or freshman. It was varsity.
No, I get it. But every sport, like you paid something.
Basketball, football.
Basketball, football.
So us, it's like anything that's within the gates, right? So that's track, football, soccer, field hockey, lacrosse, all that crap.
Don't forget, our basketball games. I went to school with 2,500 kids. Like if there wasn't some sort of ticket system on top of parents and other alumni, like there's,
That's fine.
like these,
I'm appalled that people have to pay for high school sports. It makes no sense to me. That's okay. I get it.
Not to be
I was just curious on the level.
it doesn't even have to be expensive. It's more so just like these games would sell out. Like where are people going to go if everybody could just show up and walk
With
in?
respect to where I grew up and where I am now, like we're not Friday night lights football. Like it's not like 15,000 people.
Yeah,
are
well,
showing
they're not
up,
charging $25 to get in. They're charging $5.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more so just to keep like
It was-
the flow of people reasonable.
So where I went to high school, students got in free, but everybody
Not
else,
here.
else was.
You-
five,
You can go to
$5.
that school. You still have to pay the
And
$5.
you might have got it, but you still needed a ticket just because there was only so many seats, right? Like
Oh.
when we played our rival, we played at the college stadium and it got sold out. You couldn't get tickets to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's not much to do in Erie.
Erie's irrelevant.
Yeah,
Like regardless of success, doesn't matter. It doesn't relate.
I'm telling you, there was 2,500 kids in my high school, and
I
then think
believe
about
you.
parents and alumni, and ever like, how big do you think the high school basketball arena was? How many people do you think it held? It was
1,000.
a
3,000?
typical,
500? 20?
yeah, it was a typical basketball arena with bleachers. Like you couldn't just let anybody that wanted to show up in. You had to give tickets out.
I got you.
All right, Erie strong. Texas A&M at Vandy. Vandy has been sliding a little bit here, Jimmy. They'll probably be a 7-8 point favorite, I would guess. Maybe. Yeah, I think it's gonna be in that range. Both 7-4 in the SEC. You think Vandy gives them a pounding, or you think A&M gets a big win here? Maybe gets themselves closer to the top 25.
This is a tough one because I think Vandy wins it, but it's another one that I don't know that I would take the points. Gun to my head, I would. It's in Nashville. I think Vandy's clearly the better team. Like you said, they've been on a little bit of a slide, but they've played a much tougher schedule than A&M. So I'm going to take Vandy here. I'll probably lay the points.
All right. Here's my question, as we've done, everyone. If you were a Vandy fan and couldn't wait to see this big game at 1:00 Eastern on Saturday, noon their time, I believe, how much are you paying to get in the building?
$79.50.
$79. All right.
$2.25.
Are you ready for this? $79.
Jesus Christ.
What is happening?
What?
Crazy, right?
This is like paying $80 for a fight night. Like it makes no sense.
This isn't a tournament game. Like what are we talking about?
All right. Jimmy, I'm going to give this one to you first because I don't want to just give the homer pick. So you tell me your feelings. Big game. Kentucky goes to Florida. 17-7 Kentucky, 8-3 in the SEC. They're getting better every week. Florida 18-6, 9-2 in the SEC. Florida opens an 11.5 point favorite.
Yeah, I think it's tough because we just talked about how good we think Florida is. They've played the gauntlet of the schedule, and they're just getting better. That's why they're moving up the Ken Palm, why they're moving up the regular rank. It's just too many points. Like, you're going to give me Kentucky in double-digit points, and they're getting better. Like, I'm going to take Kentucky. It's scary. It's like so we talked about even going back to last year when Florida gave it to Auburn, and we picked, and then we got on the Florida bandwagon. Like, the scary thing because Florida could be scary good. But you can't give me a ranked team in double digits. Like so it's not a homer pick. Anytime you give me a ranked team, I don't give a shit if it's on the road. I know the Swamp's a tough place to play.
It is.
I'll take Kentucky. I'll take Kentucky. Give me 12 points in Kentucky.
I'm going Florida, man. I think this is when they're gonna start making a name for themselves again. They've been getting better. They had that one win early in the season, then they failed me after that. They're coming back. It's tournament season coming up very, very soon. It's right around the corner. I think they're going to start.
They just hammered Georgia, but that Georgia sucks. You know, the A&M win to me is a little more impressive. They handled fucking Alabama, and Alabama can score in bunches. So, like, this is what I'll say. If Florida beats them by 20 points, I'm picking Florida to win the tournament again. Like, I'm done. Like they're back. They're that good. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Kentucky may win this game outright, but I'll take the 12 points.
I think Florida wins the game, but I think it's a dogfight. I think Kentucky has only gotten better. I think they're I think they're a good team. They're scrappy, like I said earlier. I think they're going to give some teams all they want in that first weekend of the tournament. I think Kentucky keeps this close enough that they cover 12 points.
I think we're probably right, but when you look at the games, it's like Florida. Like Florida lost to Auburn, and Auburn isn't Auburn from last year. And then they came back and dominated. It's almost like they dominate or they lose the game. I got to tell you, as nuts as it sounds, I might throw a half a unit on Kentucky's money line.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I am hoping it's what happens. Ryan apparently doesn't like the pick at all because he's no longer here.
No.
But I got two more games to target for Saturday. Your Arizona team that you referenced plays Texas Tech at home. Arizona coming off their first loss of the year, giving 9.5 at home. Do you think they just absolutely come in focused and crush them?
So I'm going to talk totally out both sides of my mouth because I was down on Texas Tech, and I told you that, and I bet Colorado when they went there. I won money on it because Colorado lost, but they covered. And I said Texas Tech, they lose to every good team they play, but they've gotten better as of late. And I don't think Arizona's as good as it says they are. They haven't played a crazy great schedule. They lost to Kansas, who is a solid team but not a great team, and I know it was at Kansas. I know I'm going to take the points. Give me Texas Tech and close to 10, right? That too many points. Arizona's not that good. Texas Tech is coming on. We're going to see who the real number one team is. It's Michigan, and Texas Tech's going to cover this.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I know we're in the minority, but I agree with you. I don't think Arizona is as good as everybody thinks. I really don't. And the fact that they are now ahead of Michigan to win the tournament, 4-1 to win the tournament, is just, I don't know. I still lean Michigan as the better team here. I'm kind of with Jimmy. For me, it's Texas Tech or a pass.
Yeah, I'll take Texas Tech. They might just show up and win this game, but I'm going to take them. Arizona's really good. They start 3 freshmen, which isn't a bad thing, but I've said it. I said it last year because it was the first year, so it's the first year I've said it on air. I'll say it again. Teams that have veteran leadership in college with talent win tournament games. And that's what Michigan has this year. They don't start a single freshman. Arizona starts 3, right? And it's not that they're not great. They are. But that's what gets you in tournament games. And so I think Arizona is very good. I don't think anybody can argue with that. That's not some comment that's Nostradamus like. Of course they're very good. That's why they are where they are. But they're not 10 points better than Texas Tech.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's Texas Tech or pass. But here's in my opinion, the trap of the weekend. And it's 10:30 ESPN. Number 12, Gonzaga, 24-2, 12-1 in the West Coast, goes out to Santa Clara on the road. And a lot of people probably don't know, but Santa Clara is probably the second best team in that conference, not St. Mary's. Santa Clara, 22-5, 13-1 in the conference. Gonzaga giving 3.5. Jimmy, I think people are going to come in and hammer Gonzaga, and they're going to be scratching their head at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning our time, because Santa Clara not only covers, Jimmy, they win this game outright.
Yeah, you love fading Gonzaga, and I don't blame you. I mean, these teams, like a team like Gonzaga, that's been in the mix for so many years, to have basically the 5th ranked strength of schedule at this point, put some people on your list. Like, why do you think people question you? Because you don't play anybody all year. And you get the dance. Yeah, you got hammered by Michigan by 40 points, you pricks. That was one of your 2 losses. Like you don't play anybody. So who are we to judge? You're going up against a team that has 2 more losses and basically the same schedule. So, and you're on the road. Why is Gonzaga that much better? I'm with you, Santa Clara.
Love Santa Clara. I actually think Santa Clara is the second. I think they're better than St. Mary's this year. I think Santa Clara is a good team. Wouldn't shock me. I know this is going to be one of those hot takes. Wouldn't shock me if they make a little run in that WCC conference tournament, either win it or beat St. Mary's, and they might sneak into the tournament as the second team from the WCC.
Could happen. Could all 3 get in?
I don't know if the West Coast, we have to look this up. I don't think the West Coast has ever gotten 3 in. I think it's only been St. Mary's and Gonzaga.
Yeah, you're probably right, but I agree. Santa Clara should they've got it. They've got an argument this year if the other 2 do. So
All right, Ryan's internet has gone out, so he's unfortunately not going to probably get back here as we wrap up the show. But this is how I wanted to end. Jimmy, Ryan has made it back in the building. So we'll welcome back Ryan, and right as we're ending the show. And Ryan, this is how we're going to end the show. I want to know, give me your biggest takeaways from the 2025 NFL season, and give me your 2026 hot take already.
Listen, I'm going to start very, very homerish. I, as you guys suggested, am very excited with the future of the Patriots. I just want to win 8 or 9 games every season, or at least be competitive. I think we've put a lot of pieces in place, so I'm excited. I am excited for Seattle. That had to be unbelievably heartbreaking a few years ago. I mean, I can't believe they didn't run that ball, and I'm excited for them. Other than that, it's not a strong quarterback group coming out. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of changes. It'll be interesting to see how the value of kind of these, let's call it like 15th to 50th rated quarterbacks in the NFL currently, how they move around during the offseason. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. I hope Josh Allen kind of has a shot to come back. Although he's in the AFC East and direct competitor, I hope he does well. Same thing with Lamar and Baltimore in their new adventure, so to speak, with a new head coach. I also got word that they are agreed to a new stadium. So it's actually going to be closer to me, north of the city in Owings Mills, which is like 10 minutes from my house, which is kind of awesome. So who knows when that is, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, whatever it is. Overall, I think there were a lot of coaching changes, a lot of it was a great season. I really, really enjoyed it. A lot of parity. I had fun. I guess that's the way I want to cap it.
Jimmy.
So, ask a question again. What were the 2 questions?
What's your big takeaways from the 2025 season, and what's your 2026 hot take?
So, my big takeaway from the 2025 season is if your team doesn't see upward mobility, you need to pivot quickly because you can turn it around fast, right? Seattle did it. New England did it. We saw them both in the Super Bowl. You have other teams that are grinding it out. I'm not. If I had Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, something like that, would I give up in the process? Absolutely not. But if you should expect more, and you should expect a turnout. And I think the NCAA showed us that too with Curt Cignetti. Yeah, if you've got the right people in place, you can turn it around quick. I think Dan Campbell's the asterisk there. Tough first season, but you saw upward trajectory. Second season got better. You stick with the program, but you should expect it to get better, and you should expect it to get better quick. My hot take on next year. Like I said, I think New England takes a step back, but they'll be good in the long run. But I think it happens with a lot of teams that lose the Super Bowl. They miss the playoffs the next year. Happens all the time, right? So I think New England takes a step back, and I think that another team comes out of nowhere and wins it again. I don't think one of the usual suspects. It's not going to be Kansas City. I don't think Buffalo's going to get it done. I don't think Detroit's going to be back. I don't think it's going to be the Rams. I don't think the Seattle Seahawks repeat. I think it's going to be some random team that we didn't expect elevates and gets it done.
I don't disagree, but what lever do you think they're going to pull to do that? I'm just curious, like if you think it's coaching or a player or 5 players or.
I think that you're going to see someone like, let me think. It's not going to be it's not going to be the Raiders. It's going to be a team that's close that somehow adds a piece that gets there. And look, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it ends up being someone like a Baltimore, but I just don't see it. I think it's someone that you don't expect takes that step forward and all of a sudden becomes I think maybe your New Orleans Saints don't win it all, but somehow get to the dance, right? They make it to the second round of the playoffs, right? Tyler Shuck, they forgot about, they were a solid team the second half of the year. They take that next step forward. They've got Kellen Moore, a smart young head coach, and they continue that path. I think there's going to be something like that happens. I also think that one of these quarterbacks that was forgotten about, that we've seen that they can come back around and make a move. We'll see. I'll tell you I don't know if you guys heard this, just being homers here, though none of us like them. There's like rumors, well, it wasn't rumors, it was on a podcast and this is more of my train wreck prediction, that Derek Carr comes out of retirement and plays for the Jets. My God, do you hate your life that much that you would do something like this to yourself?
Oh, the Jets. The poor Jets.
My takeaways from 2025 were Sam Darnold proved he's an NFL quarterback, and I'm happy for him. He backed up his season last year. Got his Super Bowl. Stafford got his Lifetime Achievement Award. He had a great season, but he deserves an MVP for what that guy's been through. Now he has an MVP in a Super Bowl. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think
What?
Matt Stafford's the first by far. It's not even going to be close. He's gonna be unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer.
Listen,
If
he
Kraft
absolutely
can't
is.
get in, what are you talking about?
But Belichick was too, so who knows? But by all accounts, he is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
First ballot Hall of Famer, unanimous vote. Ryan, go look at the stats. I mean, he's
Maybe I missed something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unbelievable.
I love the guy. As I've said over and over again this season, so don't get me wrong.
Go look at his stats, even when he was playing on 0
absolutely.
He was unbelievable.
Okay.
The Bills, I think, proved to me that they will never win a Super Bowl because they don't know how to piece a team together.
So tragic.
Injuries in this sport, unfortunately, are just unbelievable, and that's what you have to dodge. And I think that's the biggest bullet out there that we learned this year, that if you have to avoid the injury bug or you're just doomed. So much luck goes into this. And I think the other takeaway I had was something we said, I think Jimmy kind of got on board with me because I preached it all summer, was JT still the best running back in the game. And I'll be toting him again next year. My takes for 2026 might make you fall off your seat.
I usually do.
Bills, Ravens, Chiefs, all miss the play. Jets, Browns, and Saints all make the playoffs. The Giants win total goes over, and the Bengals win the Super Bowl.
Look, it could happen. Here's my final take on this. I think if this year and some of the other years that we've seen have proven anything, it's that the sum of a team's parts, and Seattle proves it, are more important than your star players. And it's proven over and over again. Josh Allen could be the best player in the NFL, and they can't get over the hump because you can't do it with one guy. You can't, but if you get a guy like a Sam Darnold who can not make the mistake, can make the plays, and he's got a cannon. He made great plays to win the game against the Rams, right? But you get a guy that can win you some games and can be smart enough to not lose you some games, and you've got a good team around him. It's a true team sport, and the sum of your parts are better than your star athlete. And if that wasn't the case, then Lamar would have one, and Josh would have one, and Joe would have one, and
look what it. If you're calling him a game manager, and I'm not saying that about him, but if you're calling him a game manager, look at Dilfer. I mean, he had the greatest defense probably ever.
Yeah.
But at the same point, it takes one unit to be that good to overcome a game manager.
Well, this is the thing. It did, and that was that. But Dilfer was the other end of the spectrum with it historically. Brad Johnson was sort of a little more like here, and then Tampa was this good.
Yeah,
this year you had an extremely good defense with Seattle, but not historically great. Just great for this year.
No, they were really good, man. When you
nobody's going to confuse them with the 2000 Ravens or the 2001 Bucks.
You might want to look at the stats. They suggest that they're pretty freaking strong.
They are. But my point is, Sam Darnold was better than Dilfer and Brad Johnson. If you can put the sum of the parts together and create a great team, you can win in the NFL, especially in a single game. And I'm done.
Look, Lions, Tigers, and Bears, oh my. I just put my first future in my pocket, named the finalists, 190-1, Bengals, Bears, Super Bowl, write it down. And we're going to end with that. We'll see you next week. We'll kind of recap the weekend. We'll give you a little bit more March Madness. We'll talk about what happened what's going to happen in the UFC. We'll even talk about the Daytona 500. Jimmy might post a couple of what I say because I'll put out some Daytona 500 things that I like on Saturday. So maybe Jimmy will put those on X. Jimmy, tell them where they can find us other than X.
Appreciate everybody listening. You can find us at whoyougot33 on X. You can email us any questions at whoyougot33@gmail.com. We love to hear the questions. We will promise we will share them. If you don't and you're too lazy to email, some of you know us, text us the questions, and we promise you we'll talk about them on air.
All right. We'll talk to you next week. Good luck, everybody, this weekend. Play some golf. It's a great sport to watch and bet. Russell Henley takes it down at Pebble Beach. Bet him now live. Have a great weekend.